What up, y'all? You tuned in to the 52 Scott Podcast. Welcome to this edition of Black Friday. I'm your host, Slash, and with me I got Comedian 96, K Money, and Freddie G. Together, we the Mind of Men. Don't forget to like and subscribe, plus follow us on Twitter, 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. All right, and welcome back to another episode of Black Friday. As a culture, black people, we've kind of gotten away from a lot of things that we were brought up in or brought up around. Things that our parents taught us, things that our grandparents taught our parents, that we were able to learn. Some things we learned in school, whether it was black history type of stuff. So I just think that a lot of these things have been forgotten about, and I think the time has slipped away to where you can notice a change in the culture when certain things are not put in the forefront that were there once, that was able to structure us as a culture of people. The first thing I want to talk about is we need to bring back the days where shit was real with people. I think now, if you're a social media type of person, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, it's so many things on these social media pages that look real. It's not real. And on top of that, you have all this AI shit that can make something seem real, make stuff seem easier. So, I mean, things need to come back, like going to the library, reading a book, you know, or even an audio book. The only reason I say that is because that's something structured. It's truth in it, unless you pick a fiction book, and the book is going to say that it's fiction or nonfiction. That's up to you as the person to choose that that's what you want to get into. But when you putting stuff on social media, you can confuse the person that's not looking into what you putting out. They may think, oh, that look real, because I've seen some stuff, man, that people posted videos and they make it look like it's something real. Same shit the movies do. A lot of things now is just basically capped to the younger generation. Nothing is real no more. They've taken what's fake and made it real, which is a big confusion to people of our age that have known it to be real at some point. It's just not real anymore. I think it's important to bring that back, because the further and further away we get from that, the more we lose our people. And we lose our people daily, day in, day out, due to black violence amongst each other. A lot of different stuff like that. But when things were real, you knew your parents, let's just go back to our days and things are real. If you got in trouble at school, the realest thing that was about to happen, if your parents cared, you was about to get an ass whooping. Period. Yep. They don't do that no more. The damn parents know the child is horrible, and they argue with the teacher. Something, your child have some issues. Or some, just acting out. This about your child. And when the teacher bring this up to you about, hey, your child is doing this, you rather argue with the teacher than just face reality and be like, yeah, I need to try to figure out something, or I need a support system to help me get this child on track or whatnot. So I'm just saying it's important that we bring back reality. It's too much now, too much bullshit in the mix. Everything you see is some nonsense now.
That's true, because I'm gonna tell you. Do y'all remember back before the Mike Tyson fight happened, before they canceled the first one?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know they canceled it. Well, remember that link I sent in the chat, and it looked like Jake Paul being knocked out. I actually thought that fight had happened. I was like, hey, I thought this fight didn't happen. And y'all was like, boy, look at that. Look at it again. And it was fake. I honestly thought Mike Tyson had knocked out Jake Paul, because that AI thing, it looks so real that I really thought the fight had happened, and I missed it.
Yeah, social media is known for putting stuff out. Fake news, I think a lot of that comes from social media. You'll see stuff online that you think is real, and it's really not. If you hadn't researched it now, I mean, it's too easy now to spread lies.
I got a question. So do you think our culture is more apt to believe the things that they see and read, on social media versus any other culture?
Now, I just feel like any other culture, I don't care whether they, they have what they have. They fight for themselves. They fend for themselves. I'm sure they do it too. But on a level of black people, we so far behind those cultures. It's a lot of stuff we need to pick up on to at least gain some kind of headway on some of these other cultures. And since you mentioned another culture, they got bad stuff going on in their culture too. Spanish culture. I literally experienced, I'm gonna say Hispanic males about 20, 19, 21 with Hispanic male children, 6, 7 years old. So they all together. And the 6 and 7-year-olds doing more cussing than the 19, 20-year-old.
Yep.
The kids is talking about Godzilla because of whatever the new Godzilla's coming out, and this is just something that I'm hearing. So the kid is saying, yeah, if I saw Godzilla, I'm going to do this and do something in his mouth. And but the next thing came out the other kid's mouth, shocked me. Yeah, and then we can do this and beat the shit out of Godzilla. This is his language. This is what he's saying. Now, neither one of those older kids, Hispanic kids, neither one of them said nothing. Okay. At least our culture is going to say, you ain't supposed to be using that type of language.
Correct. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So they got issues, too, that they need to work on. I know we got some. But stuff like that, we gonna take control of that. You're gonna respect the fact that you're not cussing around your elders. In the black community. Now, when you get out in the street, we did it as kids. We knew not to cuss around our parents and aunts, and we knew not to do that.
Crazy.
We cussed in the street away from them. But when we got around our people, we knew what was real.
Yeah.
We knew that Godzilla wasn't going to get his ass beat. It was going to be us.
Exactly. It's double backhand jab slap.
But they don't have that in their culture, But, and I also think another thing for our culture that we need to consider is respecting each other.
True.
We really, really, really need to consider that in our culture in order to get further, ahead.
I would say with the men, the black men, the older.
Oh, they respect each other.
The respect level is crazy. It's real high. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
It's the younger generation.
Yeah.
But I say that because it's up to us for them to understand where we going at, or what we trying to get at with that. And we don't have to be rude to them.
Not at all.
You just have to find a way to match their energy on where they at and make it make sense to them. Mm-hmm. And it's easy if you pay attention to what they talking about. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times we don't have time to sit around and try to teach an older person how to respect nobody.
Exactly.
We don't have that. So I'm just saying mentally and moving forward as a culture, we really need to start thinking about respecting each other and respecting everybody's space. It happens when you're driving, and it's not just black, it's all cultures. When you're driving, there's no respect there. Mm-hmm. But just for our culture, we need to respect each other more, be honest with each other. If you're trying to make something happen, put your minds together and make something happen. Respect the fact that y'all both trying to do the same thing and make it happen. I think we need more of that in our community in order to surpass some of these other cultures that haven't been here longer than us, and they starting to do better than us.
Not starting, they've already.
They're doing,
yeah.
And I think it's really important, man, for us to take the lead on this. As black men or as black women that have respect foundations. To push that agenda on the younger generation in order for them to understand. Now, it's not going to take a day. It's not going to happen in a week. It's not going to happen in a year. This could take 10, 15 years, just depending on the approach and how many people is actually trying to do it at the same time. But I think it's very important And here's one of the things why I say we need to learn how to respect each other. Where we need to start at with this respect thing is understand what respect is first. Respect is when you walk past somebody and you speak. That's respect. Most people look at that as like, I don't know you, I'm not going to say nothing. But walking past somebody, when you walk past them and you make eye contact, the first and best next thing to do is speak.
Let me ask you a question on that, Slash. Now, is this somebody that you know or just a stranger that you're walking by?
Well, just in general, whenever you in a situation, and let me put it like this. Let's say you are at a gas station. You're about to pump your gas, and there's somebody pull up at the pump behind you, and they're about to walk past you.
And you make eye contact.
Instead of not saying nothing, just speak. What that does is it allows that other person to understand, okay, I can feel comfortable about where I'm at. I don't have to worry about watching this person or watching my back around this person. And they give you the same amount of respect because I guarantee you if you speak to them, they speak back. That's a shared respect that I think humans, not just black people, but adults need to make happen to make a better place. But I mean, if we start in the black community, which is where we are, because how many times you go to the first thing somebody asks you when you at the gas station in the black neighborhood pumping your gas is, can I borrow $1? Can I get some change?
Yep.
It's the first thing people say, which makes you not want to make eye contact and speak to nobody.
Facts.
Yep,
You feel what I'm saying? So these are things that's really serious, man, and we need to take this serious because we don't have to give all the time, but what we can give is respect, and that'll help people understand the world we living in, because as long as there is no respect, man, we gonna always be behind, period. Something else I want to talk about, people not having consideration for others.
Oh yeah, that is that's a big one now. Yeah, I think the world's heartless now. I'm just saying it's turned cold. I think the world is turned cold.
And it's crazy because having consideration for others is basically, if you know a person that's not in good health, having consideration for that person is checking on them, seeing if they okay. Maybe they can't get where they need to get to get something that they have to have. You could be the person say, you know what, hey, how can I help you get something that you need, or get you what you need? That's having consideration. Right now, we don't have consideration. The first time somebody called you and say, hey, man, can you take me here? The first thing we think is, well, shit, that's going to be about $20. So now you looking to ask this person for some money to help them do something that they need.
They need to do. Instead of you lending a hand, you got to pay me to do. This is where the world is screwed up. It is.
This is where it's screwed up. And I think when you have these different services like Uber, you got a bus route, you got the trains, you got the bus route, but why is this Uber thing so big now? The reason why I say that is because now you're paying more to get to the same location. Maybe you get there a little sooner, but what was wrong with the earlier transportation? If you know you got to do something, you get up and you go do it, because what we can't afford is to pay you $20 every time to take me somewhere. Who can afford that?
You're right. Now, I got to ask you, say if it's a person, and I feel you when you say, man, lend a helping hand. What if it's a person that you lend a helping hand to and they take advantage of the situation and they call you every time? Then what do you do?
That's when you build boundaries. There's a boundary. Okay, hey, I can't do it today. I got you next week. Okay. Or I got you such and such a day. You know what I'm saying? And you do have people that are going to misuse a situation.
Exactly.
They're always going to take advantage of a situation. But then you as the individual have to have that respect for this person to tell them why you can't do it. Don't just say, oh, no, I can't do it. Have the respect for that person and take into consideration, hey, this is why I can't do it, but maybe I can help you, next week if, you have to. It could be a doctor's appointment. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that we got to consider, because you helping them make that trip to the doctor's appointment might save their life.
Yep.
Hey, but they have to have that same respect when you turn them down.
That's true.
And not have an attitude.
That's true.
As to like, and forgetting the fact that, you didn't help them the 2 previous times, but not just because you can't help them right now. You got an attitude. That's not right.
That's that's the approach that most people take. But that's why that people having respect for each other is the first and foremost part that we need to work on, the respect factor. That's got to be there, and all of this other stuff I'm talking about, if that ain't there, ain't nothing going to play from, But yeah, they do have attitudes about, why you can't do it, da-da-da-da-da. And at that point, it's up to you to say, you know what, I just can't help you at all if you're not going to respect the fact of me respecting you, telling you why I can't do it, and you still disrespect me. I'm not going to help you at all now. You have the right to do that because this person has already breached this verbal contract by getting upset. That's a verbal contract. Man, I can't take you. Well, I took you last week. If you'd asked me last week to take you, I probably would have gave you an answer last week. But sometimes a lot of people wait till the last minute, which is a disrespect for the person that you asking for help from. You waited till the last minute, you put them in a bind, and now they trying to give you the righteous answer, and you're about to get upset. So I'm just saying we need to have more consideration for each other as people. You know what I'm saying? In our culture, I think that's what we need.
I think people are selective in who they help and be considerate toward.
Right.
Especially when it comes to somebody you actually know. You know the character of that individual, and you know what kind of person this person is. So you're more apt to help person A versus person B because you know the character and what they're about. And sometimes we can be loyal to a fault.
Now, how many people are actually out there willing to help is the question, because you don't have many of them. There's not many people that's going to offer to help anybody.
And I feel that's changed due to all the mischievous shit going on in this world.
Right.
I would give you this happened to me probably about 4 years ago. This was right before COVID. I was driving home. It was pouring raining. And it was an older lady. It stopped raining, but it was like drizzling, but it was about to come back. And it was an older lady. I would say she was probably about maybe 60 and under, maybe somewhere around there. And she had groceries, like a whole bunch of bags. And I'm like, how's she doing that? So I felt bad. I turned around. And then when I turned around, I said, ma'am, I give you a ride. How far you got to go? She said, it's just a couple of blocks down the way. And I took her home, helped her get her groceries. Because she actually had a cart, but she was carrying, and the cart couldn't fit the water because the water was filling up because she had a water thing, but she had a roll in that. So I opened my truck, put everything in there, got home, right? I said, I'm going to help her unpack the groceries, bring them into the house, being a gentleman. I ain't know the lady. It was raining, and I was thinking, it could have been my mama. You know. Man, when I got to the house, this lady, can you move my couch over there? Could you do this? I had to cut off. I said, ma'am, I came here. I was helping you. I was just trying to do a time gesture. I saw you with all these groceries struggling. I'm just taking you. I'm not finna move your couch. I'm not finna do all that. She trying to get me to do all this other stuff. But my dumb ass sat there and did it.
At that point, well, she used you.
Yes, she did.
Because you were willing to help her, and she saw where you were weak.
Took your kindness for weakness.
My kindness for weakness.
She
trying
saw
to do a good deed.
The weakness in that, and she used it to her best ability. Now, that was a mistake on your part for allowing that.
Yeah, it was an older lady.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Same with that scenario, and this lady been wanting this couch moved for however many months, and she could get nobody to do it, and she saw your generosity. Can we honestly say that she took advantage of you?
Yeah.
Or would it be that, excuse me, while you're here, can you help me, or can you move this couch for me? Because sometimes a person may need help and they're not actually taking advantage of you.
But
but they see the generosity and say, okay, this is my opportunity to get it done.
That's taking
That's
advantage.
taking advantage. Because what
That's
if,
taking
what if
advantage.
what if I was
Well, you know what? Maybe I'm viewing it from a negative standpoint.
Well, I see it as taking advantage of that situation. It could be taking advantage
That's
of
what I
that
was gonna
situation
say.
and not the person.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
taking
that's-
advantage of the
that's-
situation.
and
Either
that's
way,
what I
still
mean.
taking advantage. Because say if it was the cable guy, he coming in to do your cable, and you say, hey, can you help me remove this refrigerator? It's not his job. It's
Right.
not- you get what I'm saying? You're taking
Right.
advantage of a situation. So I agree with you, K-Money.
Right. That's exactly what that is, you know. And again, that's where we need to have consideration for others and consider the fact that maybe you didn't have time to even help her do all
Exactly.
that.
Would it make a difference on how they ask in the delivery and how they ask? And if you didn't have time to do it, and if you didn't have time to do it, wouldn't it be your responsibility to say, hey, ma'am,
Yeah.
I don't have time to
That's
do
right.
that right now.
That's
And
right.
so
Otherwise,
can
it'd be a bad choice.
And then if you actually do it, would it fall on that person or does it actually fall on you? Because you know you didn't have time to
I'm
do
gonna keep it a buck.
and you couldn't do
It
it,
was-
and
it
you
was
didn't
totally
want,
on
and
him.
you didn't want to do it.
Look. I'm gonna keep it a bean. She
It
was.
was
Remember, I
totally
told her
on
she
you.
was an older lady, so she was like a mama. She was like a Medea.
A MILF? She was like a MILF?
No, a Medea.
A
like
gilf.
a like a who?
No, he said,
A
"Milk,
gilf.
mother, I'd like to F."
No, I said Medea.
No,
Oh.
he asked you.
You talking about K Money?
He asked
no,
you,
she was like an
MILF.
older lady. Like
I got you.
Yeah, she
He
was like
missed the
literally,
joke.
man, like bent
A
over
gilf.
with all that. No, I wouldn't at all. It was old.
So if it was a younger woman, would you have helped her and not had a problem thinking about
A
it?
younger girl, I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't have
Young?
stopped. I wouldn't have stopped for a young
she's,
girl. Not
she's
this
younger.
day and age.
No, not young girl. She's younger than the grandmother lady type. About how old do you give the lady you helped?
60,
So let's
65.
just say if this lady was 40, would you have helped her?
In the rain. Yeah, in the rain.
Now, when you got to her house and she said, "Can you help me move my couch and my refrigerator?"
I would not have helped the 40
You would not have helped her.
But I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it a bit. This older lady she was scared me. I thought she was gonna give me a whooping. So she wasn't really asking me. She was telling me to do it. She wasn't. So it was my fault. I agree with you, Slash, because she wasn't really asking. I don't even think I got a thank you when I was done. It was more like you were supposed to do this type shit.
Yeah.
So I don't even think I got a thank you. I didn't trip though.
Yeah.
I just went on and moved the couch. Whatever else she told me, I did a couple things
Yeah.
except clean the house. And I was upset, but I couldn't be upset with myself.
Right.
Because she wasn't really asking. She was kind of bossing me around, so to speak. But she was an older lady, so I just let her make it. I charged it to the fact that she's an older lady. Maybe she just senile. And I knew I could walk away. I walk away.
So I think also we need to bring back the days when kids would actually go outside and play.
I was about to ask that. Yes.
Because
Bring that back.
We need to bring that back because here's the deal. Now what kids are doing, they're not going outside. They stand in the house all day. They got these phones and these electronics that controls their life.
Yes.
So the minute something goes wrong with this electronic device or the battery dies, the child is nuts because they don't know how to have fun rather than having this device in their hand. When we were kids, we went outside. You know what was one of the biggest things to have in a black folks neighborhood as a child? A bicycle. Because you had a bicycle, you could go to anybody's house around the corner, anybody in your neighborhood, y'all could gang up and ride together. I mean, this Christmas, how many kids did y'all see outside?
Not none.
I saw a few, and actually one was on a bicycle and another one's on a scooter.
That's the only reason you
That's
saw
the
them
only
outside.
reason you see him outside. But if you think now, you remember we used to don't come in the house till the street lights come on.
Right.
Now they stay in the house because of. I'm finna say Sega Genesis is our age.
Well,
Because of
PlayStations
PS4,
and
PS5,
social media.
Yeah, they're in the house, and a lot of kids are getting fat, gaining weight because they're not out
That's
running
right.
around like we did.
Yeah.
That is actually true.
Yeah.
That is why there are so many, and this is just in America, why there's so many obese people now because of, no activity, no exercising activity, which could very well be going outside, riding bikes, or just jogging or playing basketball. They don't do this. I don't see kids with a basketball. I don't see kids with a football. I don't see kids with a baseball bat and a ball. I don't see this.
Yeah, you rarely see kids playing football.
What is the
like
deal? We
back in
used
the
to
day.
do that. That was our thing, man. Everybody on the street, if you had at least 12 or 13 kids on that street, you're going to play football in the middle of the street, man. And I know times have changed. Things are different. You got people that drive really bad, but it's still, there's ways that we can do stuff like this. We need to start taking advantage of these parks. We don't take advantage of the parks that they have around the city. It's not us there. There's a different culture there. Those parks were built so that people can go up there and have fun, like play football, basketball, baseball, stuff like that. But most of the time when you go there, you see the people playing either soccer or volleyball.
Yeah.
This is what the parks are doing. So we're not taking advantage of the structures of the land that's put out here for us to take advantage of, to give us other thoughts, to open our minds to doing something positive daily and giving our kids the exercises that they need so their brains can function properly. Do you know that in order for your brain to function properly, you must exercise and you have to get oxygen to it?
Yeah.
The best way to get oxygen to it is to exercise.
Is to move around.
We just not doing that. I think these are some of the things that we need to do in order to make our culture better. And one last thing I want to touch on before I go to my black fact that we can't take back. Bring back the times when women had more respect for themselves. Right now, most of the younger generation, girls or women, whatever, 20, 19, 30, 40s even, all they doing is twerking online for likes.
That's it.
Is this the respect? Now, my question is, ladies that does this, if you listen, please leave a comment in the comment section. If you are twerking online all day, what are you willing to gain from that? I mean, teach me the hustle. What's the hustle about?
Some going in your account?
What is the hustle
Or
of
you
this?
just you looking for the thumbs up? That's
Are
it.
you just getting a thumbs up? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't understand. You do better off in a strip club
Yeah.
where you could at least make some money. I respect that. But how much respect do you want to get from anybody when you online and it's free for me to look at?
Exactly.
I mean, women had more respect for themselves. Back when I was younger and I saw my mom didn't wear no short skirt. Man, my mom would wear a dress past her knee or some jeans. It wasn't no shorts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now, they may have had shorts because back then they had shorts.
Yeah.
She would wear shorts and the little halter top stuff, but I never saw my mama dressing like some of these women that dress now with everything hanging out. And I'm just saying, bring back those days where women had more respect for themselves. And this is why the dating game is so screwed up now, because majority of the women, this is what they out there doing. And the man is like, well, what's the point of me trying to wife one of y'all when you on here being a hoe and freaky? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we want good girls, but we want to smash the tramps. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just saying, this is the way the world is, man. I mean, all honesty, man. You want a good girl, but when you see this shit, you want to smash the tramps. You feel what I'm saying? It's so backwards, man. And I just think we need to bring back the days where shit was real, because now everything is just going everywhere. And life was much simpler when all of this technology wasn't around, and I think the technology that's here now is the cause of a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about.
I totally agree, bro.
I
totally
just think
agree.
We need to bring back reality in order for us as a culture to surpass some of these other cultures. Now that brings me to my black fact that you can't take back. This week we want to spotlight artist and producer Babyface for an album called The Days that was released in 1996. He had a song on there called Simple Days. And if you guys go back and take a listen to it, so some of the stuff that we talked about earlier here, respect, consideration and stuff like that, life being simpler, is what this song, Simple Days, was about. that Babyface recorded and produced. So shout out to Babyface, and keep doing what you're doing, man, and keep creating songs like this. And I think that this will help create a better world and have people, respect each other more and have more consideration and knowing what to teach our kids as far as them having respect for themselves as young girls. And let's keep life simple. Holla back. So that's going to do it for this episode of Black Friday. Hit that like button and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, The 52 Scott Podcast, on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast. Check us out on Monday for Music Mondays. See y'all then.